If some of those wonderful people had guns strapped right here, right to their waist or right to their ankle, and this son of a comes out and starts shooting, and one of the people in that room happened to have it and goes boom, boom, you know what? That would have been a beautiful, beautiful sight, folks. That would have been a beautiful, beautiful sight.
That was then candidate Donald Trump following the June 2016 Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando, Florida. That killed 49 people. The president's idea of combating mass shooters by arming more people is actually supported by almost 30% of Americans. According to a new CBS News poll, most of those surveyed think better mental health screening and treatment would do a lot to help prevent gun violence. Tony and Warren are friends, but they have differing views about what would help prevent gun violence. They often battle it out on Facebook, but we asked them to sit down together in person to see if they could find some common ground.
One of the questions here I have, when we talk about technology changing weaponry and making things more deadly, I don't know why we're not seeing better developments of non-lethal. Because this binary thing of the only way I could protect me and my family, by the way, how many people are coming and breaking into your house to kill you and your family? I don't think that that's a realistic fear. Why can't we have better non-lethal solutions so that it's not the only way to stop somebody who wants to kill me is to kill them? That's an idea that's 500 years old. Come on.
Sure, but you're arguing about bringing a knife to a gunfight because the bad guys, when they're coming after you, are bringing their guns.
And I would argue that those knives could be better, that the idea of non-lethal is not there yet.
Well, again, though, you're concentrating solely on this personal defense side.
Right.
And there's more to it than the personal defense side.
Right.
I agree with you that non-lethal methods, I don't want to kill anybody. I was in the Army. I'm very well trained in how to use weapons. I don't want to use it on anybody, but I'd rather use it on someone else than have them use it on me or my family or anything of the sort.
But we're doing this escalation. That's what we're seeing right now. We used to talk about arms race. We were talking about countries, and now we're talking about neighborhoods and cities. And I think this is really scary, and it's somewhere that creating a dynamic that is not making us more safe.
So you're arguing from emotion.
I'm arguing, look.
What you just accused me of doing.
No, I think that emotion is how we make most of our decisions.
You're right.
And there is an emotion. And one of the things about emotion is every time we have a mass shooting and the answer is a shrug.
When has it ever been a shrug?
There's always a shrug.
I'm offended by that.
The idea
that it's a shrug. I don't think anybody shrugs it off when that
well,
happens.
to me, sending prayers is a shrug.
Well, to me, that's a very, very serious thing.
Okay.
Prayers are a real thing.
And yet, I don't think it's going to stop the next one. Do you? If you pray harder?
I don't believe it's going to stop bad people from doing bad things.
Right, and so we see this escalation, particularly about mass shootings and people feeling less safe. And that has real repercussions. When I say a shrug, I don't mean to demean the idea of prayer, and I'm sorry if that offended somebody. But there's this helplessness that sets in. Even though it's a small percentage of people who've died in these things, it's more than any other country, and there's got to be something that we can do about it.
With the parameters the way they are, do you think lawmakers have done enough, have done anything realistic in the aftermath of Sandy Hook and Vegas and San Bernardino and Charleston and the shootings that have happened since then to address this issue?
Absolutely not.
I don't know that they can. I don't know that there's anything they can do that will stop it. I don't know that there is an answer, but to me, banning guns isn't the answer because all banning guns does is gets it out of the hands of the people who are going to obey that law.
Let's take away guns.
It doesn't get it away from the people who are going to commit
second.
those crimes.
Let's take away the idea of guns for a second.
Sure.
Does the government have a role in keeping us safe?
It has a role, yes. I don't believe it's their only role. In fact, I believe them protecting our freedoms is a bigger role than keeping us safe.
Right. And so that's where the fundamental thing comes in, of people who feel like our rights are so important that even if our society deteriorates into this place where mass murders become a common thing, that's okay as long as I get to have my gun. At some point, I seriously don't want to live in the country that has placed personal liberty so high that I don't feel safe walking into a concert anymore.
Well, there are plenty of places on earth where they don't put liberty very high on their ideals, and those are places I don't want to live.
If it were up to the two of you and we put you in a room somewhere in the basement of the Capitol and said, come up with some measures that you think will help prevent mass shootings, could you come up with anything?
I don't think we could. I think that the only way that I would give in and say, yeah, we should ban guns or any particular guns is if we could, all at once, worldwide, make all guns just disappear. I'd be all for that. If guns did not exist and no one had them, then I don't think anybody...
But, you know, that's the problem, is it's like we've gone so far down a certain road, and how do we deal with where we are in the situation? We can't take everybody's guns away.
If someone said, hypothetically, here's empirical evidence that if we make everyone in the country turn in their assault rifle, we will cut shooting deaths in this country by a significant amount, would you consider it?
I would not. You'd really be giving a lot of our neighbors far more reason to think the United States is weak. We have never been invaded, not only because of our geographical situation, but also because
people think we're nuts.
Well, because trying to take over an armed populace is a very, very difficult thing.
So you think Red Dawn is going to happen?
No, I don't think it's going to happen. I think that it won't happen because we're armed. I don't think it's going to happen, no.
Okay, now let me ask a reverse question. If somebody came to you and said, we have statistically proven that you and your family will be safer if you own an AK or an AR, would you go buy one?
I really don't know. Because I want to keep my family safe, but to what lengths am I willing to go? I don't know until we're in that situation. Not until somebody was attacking, but until I was living in a place that was so dangerous that was the only way to actually keep people safe. I think that's a different world than I live in right now.